So the iPhone 14 Plus is one of those iPhones that are already out, and funny enough, the 13 Pro Max is also one of those iPhones that's been out for quite a bit of time. So let's go and see how both these iPhones compare in 2023. They're very solid choices, but I do think there's one clear winner here over the other one, if I'm being completely honest. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside, the big thing to keep in mind here is that with the iPhone 14 Plus, this is the newer phone. The 13 Pro Max is a little bit older. The 13 Pro Max on the front had a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's a very good panel. I don't really have too many things to complain about with this specific device, and I still think, at least in terms of the outside, it still looks and performs very, very decently. It's 120 Hz, and it's probably one of the better panels on an iPhone. The iPhone 14 Plus, on the other hand, has a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, so the same type of panel, same type of size, and the same type of resolution, but you are not getting 120 Hz on the iPhone 14 Plus. You are getting that, on the other hand, on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So that's kind of a big thing to keep in mind here. You're pretty much getting overall the better panel on the iPhone 13 Pro Max than on the iPhone 14 Plus, even though the 14 Plus is a newer phone. On the bottom, you're getting lightning ports on both of them, which is awesome. And on the back, you're getting dual camera setup on the 14 Plus. 13 Pro Max has that triple camera setup. You're getting that frosted glass back on the back of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is awesome. The back of the iPhone 14 Plus has that standard glass back. So I think that's actually something that's really, really cool. And once again, that in and of itself is a really cool thing. You know, they both have wireless charging. They both have the MagSafe capability as well. And those types of things are really cool, especially when you're getting phones like this, because they tend to hold up very, very well throughout the duration of both these phones. Now, that kind of covers it up on the outside. In terms of the cameras, they both have a good camera setup. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens, where the iPhone 14 Plus has a wide and ultra-wide camera. So both these cameras are very good, and personally for me, like I mentioned, they're very solid lenses. You can get 4K at 60 on the back of both these phones, which is really good. And on the front, you're getting 4K at 60 on the front. Now, in my opinion, this is very, very basic. You are getting for sure a way better camera on the iPhone 13 Pro Max on the 14 Plus. It's just more capable. You can zoom in way more. Your zooming out capability is pretty much the same thing. The camera quality on the front is very good. There could be a statement you could say, or like a caveat, where the 14 Plus's chipset inside and features could be better, but even then, like, they both have the A15 Bionic, so it's not like you're going to be missing out on too many things from that side anyways. So personally for me, I would say both of them, from my perspective, probably get a thumbs up for me. Now on top of that, I would say moving on, the software and longevity between both is also going to be kind of an interesting thing between them. So I will tell you, for the longevity of both of them, I'm not 100% too sure, how long each one's going to last, but because they both have the same chipset, I would probably argue that the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the iPhone 14 Plus are probably going to be lasting around the same time. They may not be lasting exactly the same amount of time, but I would say give or take within within a year. If anything, the 14 Plus is probably going to outlast the iPhone, 13 Pro Max in this case. But even then, I wouldn't even go as far as to say that. I think these two phones are probably going to last around the same time because they have the exact same chipsets inside. So that's kind of what makes the most amount of sense to me, and hopefully that makes sense to you. Performance-wise, both of them are very solid performing devices. They both have the Apple A15 Bionic chip inside, and they both have 6 GB of RAM. So literally, Apple quite literally just copied and pasted the exact internals between one phone to the other. They literally have the exact same things going on between them. So even then, you're not going to notice that big of a difference between them at all, because they're both kind of sharing the same exact things there. So from everything I've seen, that's probably another thing to keep in mind here as well, that you're going to be overall getting, the better performing device from neither one of them. Whether you're playing light intensive games, you're playing light games, heavy intensive games, video editing, 4K video editing on your phone, you're going to be getting pretty much the same type of experience between them. So even then, it's not even worth kind of logging this one out. You're pretty much getting the same exact experience between both as far as I can tell. Battery life wise, you might be getting an edge on the 14 Plus. And the reason for that is, for one, you are getting, like I said, basically the same size batteries in both of them, but you are getting no 120 Hz on the iPhone 14 Plus, meaning that device could give you a little bit of a better experience in terms of battery, but you are getting a less smooth display, if that makes sense. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll definitely tell you is, I definitely do think getting a device like the, iPhone 13 Pro Max is probably going to be the one that's going to be giving you a better experience overall. I truly do feel like something like the iPhone, 13 Pro Max is more of a flagship than the iPhone 14 Plus because it was a flagship. I think with the 14 Plus it's still good and everything, but I would just recommend just buying the 13 Pro Max. That kind of is the one that makes the most amount of sense to me rather than purchasing something like the iPhone, 14 Plus in this specific case. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.